Tracy here. Today I thought I'd share with you my December daily that I made. I had finished this a few weeks ago and I thought I would share it with you today. I did start this in December. I was hoping to keep on it, like keep up with it all through the month of December, but that didn't happen. But I did start it in December, but then I had to put it away. I think I was like 4 days into it and I had to put everything away for Christmas. So I will share with you what I have done. Well, this is the title page. This is the first page, and I just put this calendar piece on here. And if you know me, I have to apologize. I don't know my products because I really don't pay attention to them. I'm sure if I was on a design team or something, I had to list everything, then I would, but I just buy what I like. I do know that this is a Sizzix die, because my girlfriend came over with her brand new die and wanted to play with it, so we made some flowers. And then this banner here that I made, my husband bought me. This was done in December, but I added the banner with the year on it. And my husband bought me these little banner dies. Aren't they adorable? I want to use these things on everything. They're just so cute. So that is that. And then I used a sparkle pen to just add a little bit of sparkle to the word December. And these page protectors are from Simple Stories. Actually, I think the whole album is a Simple Story album because they had the page protectors in them when I bought them. So this is just a plain album. I like when I decorate the front, but that's okay. I can leave this one plain this year. And the other thing is they had stickies on here where the product name was, and I can't get it off. I'm sure if I work at it harder I can get it off, but and it has a little label on the back here. I can write the year of this December daily. So here is the first page, and here are the second page, the 1st of December, and these numbers were in a sheet. I bought a sheet of all the numbers, and then I punched them all out, and then I added some stickles to them to give them a little sparkle, because the paper down here has sparkle on it and I really like that, so I wanted to mimic that, and I ended up doing all the numbers. And for the month of December I was in 2 photo challenges where you take a picture every day, and I'm trying to figure out the best way to videotape this and I'm really not getting it. But anyway, the photo challenges, one was by Heidi Swap and the other one was Canadian Scrapbookers Magazine. They were both doing a photo prompt every day. And actually, 2 of my daughters followed one along with me, which I really loved. They didn't do all of them, but they did some of them. And I just love that they were involved in it. And also, especially since my oldest daughter now lives on her own, that she was involved in it as well. So she was part of this tradition, or part of this photo challenge. So anyways, for the Heidi Swap one, for the 1st of the month, it was Let the Decorating Begin. And I usually don't decorate, well, I don't put my tree up until the 12th of December. But this year it was pretty mild at the beginning of December and we didn't have that much snow. So I decorated the outside before it got too cold. So here's a picture of my daughter and I decorating the outside. And then this is a new tree I bought for outside. Actually, I have 2 of them. And then I did some journaling, and I used the Project Life grid cards. I don't do the Project Life, I do Project 365, but I don't use any of the Project Life, what are they called, the pockets and stuff like that. But I did buy these grid cards. I love the grid cards because I need my straight lines. And then I just decorated it up with a sticky strip of patterned, a border pattern, or pattern border. I don't even know if that's what they're called, but a border sticker anyway. And then this photo challenge from Canadian Scrapbookers was warmth. So mine was my blankie I usually have on the couch. My one daughter's was her sweater, and my other daughter's was her blanket. And then for the second, most of the days I was thinking I was going to do 2 pages, like 2-page spreads. But, you know, life, some days there's really not that much. So some days I have a 1-page, and actually some days I only have half a page. But that's fine. It all worked out. And this is the second day, and my daughter and I went to go and see Catching Fire. And that was a really good movie. It was as good as the book. And then on this day here, this photo prompt was red, so here's my ornaments. And then this photo prompt was hat, and there's a picture of my daughter with her hat, and there's a picture of me with one of my other daughter's hats. And then I used the Project Life grid cards here and just decorated them up. My plan for the 2-page spreads was going to be the day that we were doing things as a family, we're going to be on one full page, like a scrapbook page, so one full pocket. And then the photo prompts, I was going to put them in whatever, say the 2 pages, or the cut in half pages, or the 4 pages, or the 3 pages. Lots of really neat configurations to these page protectors. And then day 3, so day 3, the main thing was I make chocolates every year with my husband's cousin's wife, and we've been doing that for about 20 years. I can't believe it's been that long. It makes me sound so old. I've been doing that for 20 years. But this year we made 320 chocolate turtles, and they are delicious. Then here another border strip. And then the photo prompts were cozy, and that's me in my pajama pants. I just love those pajama pants. I can wear them all day, and some days I do. And then the other photo prompt was toasty hands, and there's me with hot chocolate, and then there's my daughter with her hands, with her mitties on, shaped like with a heart. And I think that's such a pretty color, or a pretty photo. My daughters are really good with, they have an eye for photography. And these are all, I think almost every picture in here is with my cell phone. So that is that page. And all of the photo prompts here, these are just on my label maker, and then I cut the flags out of the label maker. And then day 4 was, I had an appointment at the clinic, and I just did a side-by-side picture. And this is out the clinic window. This is, I don't know, a few days ago, like a few days before this picture was taken. And then this is when we had a storm warning. And this is my daughter's crazy cat who likes to lay in its kitty litter. You change its kitty litter and it goes in there and it kind of just relaxes, chillaxes inside the kitty litter. I don't know. And then these are the photo prompts, and they were stalking for one and good morning for the next. So good morning for mine was getting ready in the morning, taking a shower. And here's my daughter for her good morning. Don't we wish we all looked like that when we first woke up? Or this one, my other daughter with her kitty. That's the one that's living on her own, my oldest. And then day 5 was tree. See, some days this is when I realized, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to do 2-page spreads all the time. So day 5, the photo prompt was tree. And because I don't put up my Christmas tree till the 12th, my daughter was very excited and she put up her Christmas tree. So this is her photo actually. And then the other one was breakfast. So here was mine, oatmeal, and my hand-picked blueberries from the summer, and then my other daughter's breakfast. And then these were this is a chipboard piece, and I just think this is a fun configuration to these page protectors. You got the 2 smaller ones here, and then a long skinny one down the side here. It was fun to play with all the different page protector configurations. I really like that. And then the 6th, we went away on a trip, a family trip. All of us went. My daughter wanted to go to IKEA. My oldest daughter, she wanted to do some shopping for her house. So we all went as a family, which I keep saying every year, this is the last year. I'm sure she's not going to want to come, but they all want to come still. So I'm not arguing. So this is we were going to Duluth, and then we were going to Minneapolis. And then I got to use the little border punch, or the little banner punch, and I did road trip up here. And the prompt was lists. So here is when we go on a trip, I have a timeline. And it's really odd that I have a timeline because usually it's my husband who is very strict on when we leave and everything else. So I just wrote a timeline of what we did, and then my daughter wrote her shopping list down, and I had to put in one of my favorite meals, and that's going to Red Lobster. And then the other photo prompt was elf, and I didn't know what the heck to do for elf, so my husband was looking all over for me for an elf. So he found, this was a chipboard sticker from, I think we were at Archivers, so I snapped a picture of that. And then the 7th, we were shopping because we were in Mall of America. So here it is first thing in the morning, and I got a picture of my daughters in front of one of the trees. And when I took the picture, a couple of them were like, oh, really? Seriously? I'm like, come on. And they're like, oh, you're such a mom. And I just thought that was funny. It's like, yeah, of course I am. And just some pretty trees when nobody was there. We were there when it first, before it opened, so it was nice. It's kind of fun to go in there when there's nobody else in there. And funny enough, the photo prompt was shopping. And it's like, well, that's perfect. So I have a picture of my daughters with their shopping bags before my husband and I took them to the vehicles for their second round of shopping. And then here's my daughter. She did, I don't know how she did that because we just had our cell phones, but she has, you can't even see. That's what I mean about, I can't get the right angle. But anyway, here she has a picture of all the shopping she did, all her parcels. And then here, because the girls were out on their own, my husband and I found a few places to rest and had some cinnamon sticks and some crepes. And here I photobombed my husband's photo. He was taking a picture of all these really pretty lights, and I jumped out in front of him. And then the 8th, the photo prompt was cards. So here's the Christmas cards that I made and mailed out. And it was also reindeer. And this is just a stamp. I have a little, at home I have this little quilt, paper quilt that I made for Christmas, and this is one of the stamps on there. It's a reindeer. And then this is just a scenery I had of my daughter's feet beside me practically the whole way home. And then a book I read on the drive home, and just a place we went for supper. And then the 9th, see how fun these are? Like you got two smaller pages, and then, or two smaller pictures you can put up there, and then a long one. I was really having fun with these, as you can tell. So on the 9th, all I had were pictures for the photo prompts, and nobody else did any. I think they kind of quit along the way, so this is as far as they got maybe. So I have mail, so these are the cards I was sending out, and then display, and this is one of my holiday displays I have out. And then these are just chipboard that says magic, and then I put the number 9 on a chipboard snowflake. And then the 10th, one of the photo prompts were indulgence. So I have my hot chocolate and I have a couple turtles there. And then the 10th, my husband went to our cottage to plow because we had a lot of snow, and he had to actually boost his truck because it was so cold out. His truck didn't want to start. And then the 11th, the photo prompt was snowflake. So I just took a big snowflake, obviously not a real one, that big, and took a picture of that. And then wrapping paper. And it was minus 40 degrees Celsius. So I think minus 40 degrees Celsius and minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, I think they're the same temperature at that time because they're different. So I think at minus 40, they're the same on the temperature gauge. And then see here, I only had some pictures here. And then the 12th, I used these chipboard banners here. I thought that was fun to play with those. So on the 12th, I just took a picture of my daughter's mantle that I made her. I just finished it maybe a few days before that, and my husband and I went there, so we just moved it and took a picture of it. That's not where it stayed, but... And then the prompt there was frosty, so my windows obviously were frosty, and I don't know what the other photo prompt was because I never did the label maker, but that's the day we put our tree up, so... And then the 13th, it says here... Oh, gifts. So here's the gifts under the tree. And then it said ugly sweater. And what it meant was like an ugly sweater for like an ugly sweater party, I guess. But I don't have any of those. But I put my old lady sweater out because I've mentioned it before. It's like frayed. It's falling apart. There's holes where the buttons should be. And yeah, I still have it. But it's perfect. It's warm and it has pockets. So it's good enough for me. And then the 14th... it was gifts. Well, my daughters are my gifts. That's the one thing I was doing 2 photo prompts. So a lot of them, maybe not the same day, but a lot of them were similar. So this gifts, I just put my daughters, there's a picture of my daughters, and then the other one was naughty. And then the 15th, just played around with these enamel dots, which I've never used before, but they were fun. I love the colors in those. And it was sparkle was one of the prompts. Excuse me. So I had one of our sparkly baubles that were on our tree, and the other prompt was nice. And I just played around with a stocking we had, and I put my label maker on there and some candy canes, and I wrote nice. And I forgot to share the naughty one here. I put coal in it, but we didn't have any coal, so I took like mini shredded wheat and I painted them black, and actually they look like coal. I was pretty happy with how they turned out. And then the 16th, I got rid of the gray, got my hair done, and then I was at the mall. There's Santa. He actually seen me taking a picture of him, so he smiled for me. And that was another photo prompt. And then the 17th, it said an ornament, and here is one of my favorite ornaments. I've made these with the glass ornaments with the Tim Holtz alcohol inks, and with my Cricut, I cut them with like shelf liner, that sticky shelf liner, and I love how they turned out. Let me see if I can bring this up and put this in the same spot. But there, I just love, I've made one for everybody I know. I was having so much fun that one year, and I made those many years ago. And then this here, I thought this was a nice embellishment. Fellaine had made me this hot chocolate sleeve holder. I made her one last year, and she made me one this year. And I just loved, she said this was a sticker. Now, Stampin' Up! People, if you're listening, I think you should make a punch like this, because this is so adorable. I want to make one. I just love that little sticker. And then on the 18th, what was the photo prompts? Gold. So that's one of my gold baubles on my tree. And wrapping. Well, here I am wrapping some presents. And then just some crafts I made that day. And then, see, here's one where not too much was going on. So on the 19th, the prompt was candy cane, and that's just a little glass candy cane that we have on our tree. Quiet was another one, and quiet, to me, a nice, relaxing, perfect day is laying in a hot tub with a magazine and a candle. So that's what I took a picture of. And then the 20th, it was charity, and here I'm giving money in the bucket at one of the stores. And this one also was elf, and I couldn't find an elf, and again, my husband, he found one at a store for me. I think it was a book, so I took a picture of the elves. And then the 21st, lights. This is my daughter's photo, but I really like how it turned out. That's our Christmas tree. And then Mary. And to me, Mary, which is happy, is me being surrounded by all my stuff to create in the living room while my husband and I watch TV. And then the 22nd is scarf. So here's just a picture of me with my scarf and cookies. And these are gingerbread cookies that my daughters made in her house. So that's that. And then the 23rd is wish. And my youngest daughter taught me how to put text on a photo on my phone, so I was pretty psyched about that. So I put that, I think, on my Facebook page. And then 23rd, oh, this is still the same day. The 23rd, another one was traditions. Well, every year we buy our daughters pajamas, either matching pajamas or they're different colors but the same style. So that's what they got. And then I also took a picture of the front of my daughter's house, and she decorated her front porch area. And then she has her little Christmas tree there with lights on. And then the 24th, the prompt was tree, so there's a picture of our tree again. And there is my daughter's, how she decorated the mantle I made her. And it looks like it should be in a magazine, like everything matched. She has such a good eye for style. Like everything is gold and silver and white. So her tree, her stockings, her little display, like everything. It just, I don't know, she has such good taste. And then there is her with her boyfriend on that day. And the 24th, that is before we went to actually it was at my sister-in-law's this year. And here is a picture of my family. And then The 25th is spent at my brother's house for supper. So that's what was that page, but this is the morning, and I was so happy because my daughter Ashley came. Like I said, she has her own place now. She bought her own house, and she came, her daughters and that, or her daughters, she doesn't have any children. My other daughters and her made her come over at 7 o'clock in the morning to open gifts, and that's how she arrived at our house, with her big white sorels and her pajamas. So she came over at 7 o'clock in the morning to open gifts and stayed over until she had to go to her boyfriend's house for supper. So here are my beautiful daughters with their gifts. They would hate for me to be showing these pictures Christmas morning, but I had some other pictures and I wish they would have turned out, but my husband spoiled them tremendously and bought them all a MacBook Pro for Christmas, a laptop. So they were almost crying. They just could not believe that he did that. I could not believe that he did that. But yeah. And then on the 25th, like I said, we spent at my brother's house. So here's a picture of my sister and I. And then I just used some dimensional stickers. And then here's a picture of my sister's children and my brother's dog. It's funny, I don't have a picture of my brother who hosted the actual dinner, or my sister-in-law. And then Boxing Day, this is the day that I was starting to not feel good. And I'm like thinking to myself, I just have to make it through this day. That's all. Boxing Day is the last. I can get sick after this. So Boxing Day, during the day, my girlfriend came over, Debbie. She actually stood up for my husband and I when we got married. So here's a picture of my girlfriend and I in front of our tree. And then the evening is spent at my sister-in-law Sharon's house. She's my well, they're both my scrapbooking buddies, but... And then, so these ones weren't very good because her house was dark and darker. Her living room is darker, not very much light. So there's a picture of my daughter, and her boyfriend, and a picture of my third daughter and her boyfriend. And then there's my brother-in-law, and then there's my husband. So Boxing Day, and then I got home and I took a tub and I had a fever and I wasn't feeling very good. So this is the last of my December daily because I was sick for like 2 weeks, and then my husband got sick. So this is the end of my December daily, the last page, and I figured, you know what? I painstakingly added sparkle to every one of these numbers. I am going to totally use them all. The sad thing about this is I usually go all the way to the end of December because we have a New Year's party, but we actually had to cancel our New Year's party because we were both really sick. So sadly, that's where it ended. And then this, I found this on the internet, has all these old antique vintage books. And it says, tomorrow is the first blank page of a 365-page book. Write a good one. And I just love that saying. And when I copied it out or printed it out, it kept cutting off this part. You couldn't read the whole thing. So I just added the sentiment or the wording with my label maker. And then these here, this side here, I'm just leaving the page protectors in here because if I do this again next year with the same page protectors, which I think I will, because actually I really did enjoy doing it this way. So I just left them in there because then I don't have to go searching around for them next year wondering where the heck they are. So thank you, everybody. I hope I didn't bore you too much with my December daily, but if nothing, I got to document it for myself anyway. So thank you so much for joining me, everybody, and I hope this has inspired you to finish or start your December daily. You can still do it, even though it is January. So thank you, everybody, again for watching, and I hope you had a very creative day today. Bye now. That time doesn't hesitate.